Good rising, brethren. This is Big Judah coming to you guys from California. Before I begin, give all praises to the Most High, Yahawah. Acknowledgement to the Earthly Mother, who is wisdom, who is the Holy Spirit. Acknowledgement to Yahawah. Prayer to the Most High blesses this lesson this afternoon. Gives more knowledge and understanding of the events of the past, in order to understand the events that are currently happening on the earth. So we get a much better understanding of the things that are soon to come on the earth. Just want to come to you guys real quick, talking about this Texas rancher that's all over, social media, talking about the food shortages that are soon to come. I'll leave a link in his description box, in this description box here, so you guys can go check out the video yourselves. But people are getting a hint about the things that are happening on the earth, but they still don't understand the why. Remember now, when the Most High takes away knowledge and understanding, that people will do things that seem to be counterproductive. They will seem to be doing things that destroy themselves. When the Most High is pretty much taking the lands away from the other nations and preparing to give them back to us, they're going to make decisions that don't make any sense and pretty much destroy themselves. Once their time is up here, that's exactly what the Most High said was going to happen. That the other nations are, are going to be removed. And I'm sure a lot of that's also going to be decisions that don't make much sense. Kind of like opening up the country again without any testing. I guess they were saying that they need 5 million tests a day, and the country is currently testing 200,000 people a day, which shows you that they are ill-equipped to handle what's about to happen. And it can just be, I talked to some people about, even what happened out here in Newport Beach this last weekend, and how the thousands and thousands of people went to the beach because of this mini heat wave. Well, shouldn't these people get it by now? The Most High made the weather hot. These people have been stuck in their homes for weeks. And these people over here in Newport Beach decided to keep those beaches open. The beaches, in north of Orange County or north of actually Los Angeles are closed. The beaches south of Orange County or San Diego are closed. So these people are all going to congregate in one area. So the Most High made it an absolute petri dish situation by making all these people who have cabin fever running to Newport Beach in order to be all around each other. So who knows? And I said, hey, I was telling some people, I said, well, we'll see where we're at in 2 or 3 weeks, when these numbers start to just jump up like crazy. That just shows you the bad decisions, that these people make that pretty much exacerbate the situation. Now you got this Texas rancher right here crying and complaining, talking about food shortages, and he was complaining because they were bringing meat or beef from some other country, and that the ranchers are getting, destroyed because of bottlenecking. These plants that need to process the meat aren't open because they're getting bombarded with people testing positive for CV. So at first it seemed like, the Most High was hitting a lot of the nursing homes. Now all of a sudden he's hitting these processing plants, which is now making a bottleneck with all these animals. And I guess at one of these plants they had to, kill 2 million chickens. These farmers are having to just, plow over their lands with vegetables and whatever else. They're having to kill off a lot of their cattle. And he was pleading for them to open up these processing plants. Well, okay. If they open the processing plants, then CV is going to run rampant wherever these processing plants are, because they already are. They're showing a video about how close these people were working within one another, and there's no way they're going to be doing any social distancing in these plants. And they said they can't spread these people out enough because then the companies won't be financially viable. So again, it's a decision between people and money. And these Gentiles and Esau always love that money, so you already know what they're gonna do. But see, this is all the Most High. When they don't understand that, the Most High is making them make a choice. Either you shut things down, or, you're going to be end up killing people. It's one or the other. And the vast majority of the people these, Gentiles, they don't understand what's going on. All they can see is dollar signs and losing money. And he's like, he was talking about how a lot of these farmers are going to go under, how they're going to, the companies they're going to lose their farms because they can't pay their bills and everything else. What they don't understand, again, is that these lands are not theirs. They were on loan, and the Most High is now coming to collect his people and the land. The guy, when you would listen to the video, you'll be able to pick up a couple things he's talking about. He's talking about how America can feed the entire world. So he's talking about, how lush these lands are, how great the land is, and how much of a blessing it is to control this land. How these lands here are capable of feeding the entire world. So we know that these lands are rich in soil and resources. And now he was really upset about destroying the harvest, having to destroy these harvests because of these plants, and him wanting to he wanted pretty much to, he was talking about, destroying the economy. This is going to destroy the economy, and we need to put these people back to work. He's talking about how, okay, you've had your chance to, enjoy your $1,200, stimulus checks. Now it's time for you guys all to go back to work. See, that's Esau's mentality. It's always been about us, you're not responsible enough to handle money. You need to just work and make us rich. And that's all that he cares about. He just cares about, he's like, this is our country, and we need to, come together. Pretty much, the come together moment. It's typical. You need to, get up off your ass, and you need to go back to work. That's pretty much what he was saying. And when you listen to the video, that's what you're going to hear. You've had your chance. Now it's time to get back to work. And that's not going to happen. Most High's not going to allow that. So it's like, what? So we're supposed to go out and work for you guys, so you guys can keep your ranches and keep all your money, but we can be the ones getting sick? Nah. Like I said, those days are done. But that's the thing that's going on right now. But I guess whatever he said worked. Okay. Because Trump today is going to sign. It was announced he's going to sign an executive order forcing these plants that are now where CV is totally running rampant to stay open. So that they've made their choice. They're telling you that they're not going to listen to what the Most High says. They're not going to listen to the fact that the Most High has deemed the fact that they need to close up all of these different companies, close up the country. They're pretty much going to go against what the Most High says, which we already know how that goes. When the Most High told us to do certain things and we decided not to do it, he destroyed us. He's doing exactly the same thing to the Gentiles. They have their options: either shut things down and let the Most High's will be done, or open up things and then be subject to the Most High's wrath. Now Trump is making it, the law of the land that these places need to stay open. So we already know what's going to be coming real soon. They keep talking about how we're on the downturn. Things are going to get much better. We've seen the worst. And we know that's not true. But they have to keep saying that in order for, to keep the people from revolting, to keep the people from losing their minds even more than they already have. One thing that farmer said, which was very true. The people who control, he's talking about, controlling the people, controlling the populace here. And he says pretty much control comes from the food, the water, and the land. That goes back to Deuteronomy 28. The blessings, how you control the people, is through the blessings of the Most High. And the blessings of the Most High in Deuteronomy 28, 1 through 15, predominantly comes from the land. And then you have possession of the land, you have possession of the food, and you have possession of the water, you have possession of the shelter, and then you have the opportunity to just concentrate on doing the will of the Most High. I was talking to my wife this morning, and we were talking about how Israel is a people of specialists. I said the Most High gives us all our blessings. We all are pretty much specialists. See, and we got a society that has taken away the speciality of our nation. Hold on real fast here. and forced us to just do whatever it is that Esau wants you to do. Just like when you go to college, you've already gone through multiple years of, junior high, elementary school, high school, of getting a well-rounded education of many different things. So you go to college to specialize in something, but the first 2 years, you're not allowed to specialize in anything. You have to take your general ed courses, which then, is 2 more years of a whole bunch of different other things. And you don't learn about things that you want to learn. You see, we're a nation of specialists. It's like, if you specialize in this certain thing, then I can come to you and learn about that. Or if I need something that you specialize in, I can come to you with that. And we can barter and we can work things out. This country has taken away that whole concept of, specializing in something. And they pretty much just told us what it is that we need to do. We need to be just mass labor, making things for them, doing work for these people on their lands, working their lands for them so that they can, reap all the benefits. But see, that's why this guy doesn't understand what's going on. He sees the destruction of the land here, but he doesn't understand why the Most High is destroying it. He doesn't understand why these people are making the decisions that they're making. They're making the decisions because their time here is done. And the Most High is making them clean up their mess. And that cleaning up comes by destroying the things that they have built. But let me show you why this isn't their land and why they don't seem to get it. This is going to come out of the Book of Miracles. We're going to be doing a couple of videos out of this right now. And it goes perfect with what's going on right now. This was the vision of the whole world up until 1492. They thought the whole world consisted primarily of Europe, Asia, and Africa. If all you know are these 3 land masses for the most part, then everything you think about as far as your religious understanding it has to be centered around these 3 land masses. So when you got the Bible, and you're a Bible-only person right now, in 325 AD, when Constantine set up the Bible, they made everything fit these land masses. You see this? So when he's talking about Israel and it's talking about all these different, Egypt is talking about all these different things, everything was revolving around these 3 land masses. When it comes to now the end game, end times, they're not concentrating on America and the things that was said about America, because the 10 tribes were predominantly writing about America because that's where they were at. So they don't understand the fact that this is judgment on the people who are still on the lands of America. They're trying to read the Bible and they're pretty much just concentrating on everything over here, not knowing that, there's going to be a coming destruction or a wiping away or cleansing of the lands here in America. They don't get that because all of their information revolves around these 3 parts. Most of the people say they're Bible-believing Christians and that they love Jesus Christ. And, that's why they don't understand the fact that these lands here have to be cleansed. The Most High is going to take them off of these lands and return them back to the lands that the Most High gave them originally. They don't understand that Jacob received, or Shem received the best lands, hot and cold. The lands that, would be the envy of the world. So when that guy says that, America can feed the whole world, he's right. Because these lands over here are the envy of the whole world. They are the best lands. And he doesn't understand that. So he doesn't understand why, they would be shutting down plants. He thinks that things should be going forever great here in the Americas. And yeah, they're going to go great again for the Most High's chosen people. They're not going to go great again for the land squatters that are here right now. So that's why things are just going from bad to worse. And they're going to continue to go that way. So like I said, when people who are Bible only, 80 books only, 66 books only, that's why you guys think everything is about Africa. Because Africa was all that they knew. Africa were great, plentiful lands right here. And that's why everything revolves around, hey, all these black people were from Africa. They came over here and they're all going to be going back over this way. Because everything, for the 80 books is all revolving around these 3 lands. Because they had no idea what was going on in the Americas before. So as this rancher doesn't get what's going on, why, these bad things are happening here in the Americas, because he doesn't understand that the Most High is moving to sweep them off of our lands. You know who else knows the truth? The elites. See, they've already ran away. Where do they run to? Did they run back to these three lands right here? Europe, Asia, and Africa. That's what you got to follow. Look at their actions. They didn't run back here. They didn't stay in America either. They said, oh no, we're getting the hell out of America. Oh, okay, well then go back to your lands over there in the three parts. Oh, they're like, oh hell no, because they're going to get destroyed too. So where do they run off to? Billionaire bunkers. New Zealand amongst places where elite may ride out coronavirus. These people ran way out here to New Zealand. Why wouldn't they run back to the three parts? Because they already know what's coming to the three parts. For what they've done to the Most High's chosen people, there's going to be a destruction coming that way. So they're not, so they don't want any parts of that either. So they ran, as far away as they possibly can from the destruction. So they know that America is not an option. And they know that Europe, Asia, and Africa is not necessarily an option. So they ran all the way to New Zealand. So remember now, the elites are ones that are much closer to these demons. They've been getting all this information, all this insider information. That's why you always wonder, like, how they know all this stuff, because the demons are telling them so. And the demons guided them all the way over here to New Zealand as well. So don't look at what they say. Look at what they do. And look at how they're leaving the people here. And things are, like I said, talk about how they've been getting abandoned. And that's exactly what these Gentiles here have been abandoned. And now they don't understand why, like, these decisions. Like, why is it that they're not really, increasing testing? Why is it that they're opening up the country without really doing any testing or being prepared for anything? Why is it that, the beef and everything else is being allowed to be destroyed and there's going to be food shortages coming? See, the Most High already promised his people. He says that they're going to eat while the rest of the world is starving. And see, many Christians and Catholics and people who, they'll read those kinds of things and they always just assume it's talking about them being the ones that are protected. But yeah, if you want protection, it comes at a cost. If you want to be in the will of the Most High, it comes with you having to be, you have to make sure you're listening and being obedient to the real Most High. And if you're not doing that, then you don't get the blessings of the people. That's why we tell people all the time, go and study. Don't come to me and just ask a question. Go and study for yourself. I said, this is something this is your soul. This is your spirit. This means drop everything and study for yourself. That's what's most important right now. It says it's a beautiful place, New Zealand. It says it's beautiful. I said, that's why these people are led here, and they got these bunkers. I was like, if you're already on an island and you're already out in the middle of nowhere, why are you having to build bunkers? Because they know that eventually the destruction is going to come following them here as well. So I just wanted to touch on this point real quick. I said, they're going to be the Gentiles are going to be doing a lot of things that destroy themselves, because the Most High is making them do this, even though it doesn't make any sense. To us, when you're sitting there looking at it, from a physical standpoint, even to the Gentiles, they don't understand why these bad things are happening and why these people that are in these positions are making these decisions that make no sense. It's because that's the spirit that is put on them now to destroy themselves. They're not worried about self-preservation. If you guys haven't realized that yet, with the whole CV, they're not trying to preserve themselves. Just like that governor. Well, it's not just about living. They've already lived their life. They've already lived, their perfect life. And now it's time to pay. It's like, hey, they know they're going to be taken away at any time. So now it's not just about living a long life, living 20, 30 years down the road and passing things down to their kids. They know that that's not going to happen. And the elites are already showing you by their actions. All right. All praises to the Most High, Yahawah. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother, who is wisdom, who is the Holy Spirit. Acknowledgement to Yahweh Shai. Shalom.